maybe I will describe a little bit this German home,
Yeah,
because
sure.
this was amazing place.
Definitely.
Because we had only one friends of from a German, like Germans. So, but much more of these people, my father helped a lot with for resistance in Poland. So during the wartime, yes, the refugees coming and they slept mostly at our home. So, so it was amazing, and. This was one part of this house when I lived, and second is Jews from Russia and Poland, and Jews who was born before the war. So this was this Yiddish language and everything happened there, and my life in Germany was very um, mm, funny. It was amazing. It was mixed with this Stadt tradition. Like people from a Stadt who survived in some very contemporary town. And it was amazing. This crash. It was something like a crash. And my uncle, second uncle, who survived the war in jak jest piec, Boże, zapomniałem. Taki na chleb, wiesz?
Who survived inside?
Inside
the oven?
this, yes, oven, yes. Like this oven for bread, like it's a big one. So he survived there, and he was he always had the same suit, yes, and with a hat, and he spoke in every language, and but not in a one language. It was a mix of couple of languages. It was amazing. We had a couple of
Yeah.
houses and flats, because my father, he play, so he lost sometimes home after he wins. So it's everything changed there. I remember a situation when we live in a hotel for working class people, like very poor people. But beside this hotel, my father parked two very nice cars, but he waiting for how to sell them. I remember he had a shop with the cheese, like luxury, cheese shop, and but he had a trauma after the war, and it was normal, that sometimes he came back to home, and he laying in a bed 2 weeks for sometimes. So my father, he because the Jewish people, they wanted to have some fast, success. So they mostly they was a they had a bordello. So my father,
Brothel.
yes, his friends he had, and my father was a like Boże, nie wiem, jakiś chef, no nie wiem, chief of this house, something like. But in a it's funny because, for example, I remember I have even teddy bear from a very famous hooker from Frankfurt, and which she remember Nazi time, and she was a lover of someone like a Hess, or someone very. But my father, he was open, even this my uncle, this small one, for them it was normal, that people from Wehrmacht coming there, and everything was crazy. And the second, this was my first meeting with Israel, because one room was always closed, and nobody coming there, only my father, who took food there, and he lived there beside the doors. And after, when we met after 20 years, he told me that this room was a room for Mossad, so because this street, now it's a very luxury, and it's the main street in Frankfurt, but and this time it was everything started to be important, in Germany and in Frankfurt, so they had some point for landscape. I don't know. They check someone in this room. Everything was a little bit dark, and with the red light, And this, for me, this is the Jewish culture, you know. Of course, I like, you know, these mystical things in Jewish culture, general, not even religion, but general culture. Um, but general, you know, for me, this culture is something like, mm, you know, like a Polanski film of Chinatown, you know, something very, you know, dark. And I remember a lot of people, you know, like very weird people. I remember my my father friend. He was from Yugoslavia. He was a Sephardi Jew, and he didn't had mm, what's the hands, only fists. You know, like from here. No, and when I was child, and I look at people, you know, like this, you know, like this. My uncle was small, you know, hooker, you know, who was who looks like weird, you know. Everything was very weird and completely multicultural, because even this Jewish from Poland and Russia was different. And I remember one guy. I don't know, to maybe this was my family too, but in the end of 70s in Austria, they had a very big scandal with someone stealing some pearls or something like this. And this was my uncle. He lives in our house sometimes with his wife. She was typical, you know, Jewish religion, you know, with the peruka. And
Shaitel.
yeah. And but he was complete, you know, open, you know, and very. He was. This was the general. These people. It was different than mafia, you know. It was old mafia, you know, like they have a very style, you know, big style, you know, like they was very sophisticated in this. so yeah, I think yes, I learned a lot from this.